Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at Alexander County, North Carolina.
Right.
And our mission really is to explore how the documented Bigfoot reports,
Yeah.
from the BFRO intersect with all the local folklore there.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. We've got these specific BFRO records from 2013 and then this broader context of regional legends.
Exactly. We want to understand the info we have and sort of a cultural feel around these sightings. For you listening, the goal is to get a clear picture of the evidence, both documented and anecdotal, and see how these sightings and local stories kind of play off each other.
It's interesting how those two things, the formal reports and the traditional tales, might, reflect or even shape one another.
Okay, so let's jump into those BFRO reports. First one, hashtag 41508, June 12th, 2013.
Okay.
This was on Damascus Church Road near the Iredell County line. A driver saw something pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, large, hairy, bipedal creature crossing the road, late afternoon. They watched it for like 8 to 10 seconds.
That's a decent length of time for a sighting.
It is. And the area. Farms, orchards, woods. Pretty typical for that region. Now, BFRO gave this a Class A rating. So what does that Class A actually mean?
Well, Class A from the BFRO basically means they think the witness is credible.
Right.
And the circumstances strongly point towards, a genuine Sasquatch sighting, usually a clear view, not easily explained away.
And the witness told family right away.
Yeah, apparently they shared it immediately, which the BFRO often sees as bolstering credibility.
Okay. Then there's the other one. Hashtag 43204, October 18th, 2013. This was near Taylorsville, next to a vineyard. Less detail on this one. Possible sighting from a car early evening. They classed it as B. What's the difference there?
So Class B suggests there might be something there, potential evidence, but it's just less conclusive.
Okay.
Maybe the sighting was brief or dark, or the report was just, lacking specific details. It's their internal way of ranking confidence based on what they're told.
Gotcha. So, thinking about Alexander County itself, it's quite rural, isn't it? Especially central and southern parts and the Brushy Mountains area.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That isolation is key, you could argue.
Does that feed into it, the isolation? And I hear there's a strong storytelling tradition there, too.
Absolutely. I mean, on one hand, the remote environment could theoretically support a large, undiscovered animal. On the other, a strong oral tradition means stories, maybe unusual ones, get told and retold.
Right.
Lines can blur between the everyday and the mysterious. And interestingly, some analysis suggests that while the total number of reports isn't huge, the density of sightings per square kilometer might be relatively high there.
Huh. That's interesting. Maybe something about the place itself or how people perceive things there?
Could be. It leads us into the wider folklore, doesn't it? North Carolina's got more than just Bigfoot legends.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, you've got the Brown Mountain Lights, the Devil's Tramping Ground, ghost stories like the Boston Bridge Train. Even the name Brushy Mountain echoes the old penitentiary in Tennessee, though that's different.
So a whole tapestry of weird stuff.
Exactly. That history of unexplained phenomena, maybe fostered by past isolation, creates a backdrop where, perhaps, a Bigfoot report doesn't seem quite so out of place locally.
Okay, let's try and, visualize an encounter based on common elements. Picture this. Late autumn, Rocky Face Mountain recreational area.
Okay.
2 hikers, hollow rock trail, dusk settling in. Air's crisp, smells like damp earth and leaves. Sun's going down, shadows getting long, spooky kind of quiet.
Yeah, that atmospheric setting is common in reports.
Then suddenly the normal forest sounds just stop, that creepy feeling like you're being watched.
Primal.
Maybe a loud crack, like a thick branch breaking, or one of those wood knocks people report. Maybe a weird musky smell. If they had a dog, it's probably going nuts, whining, hackles up.
These sensory details pop up again and again. The silence, the smell, the feeling of being watched. It really builds a picture.
And then they see it, maybe just stepping out from behind some trees. Massive, upright.
How tall are we talking, typically?
Reports often say 8, maybe 10 feet. Immense build, broad shoulders, covered in dark, shaggy hair. Moves quietly, almost unnaturally so for its size, but fast if it wants to.
And
Often described as sort of simian, like a gorilla, but wrong somehow. Heavy brow ridge. And sometimes people report glowing eyes, though that's debated.
it's the consistency in these core descriptions across different accounts that makes you pause,
What might it do? Could be anything. Just standing there, watching silently. Or maybe sudden jerky movements.
Guttural sounds. Scream.
Yeah, sometimes starting low and escalating. People have even described this really unnerving spider crawl movement.
Right, that's a particularly strange one.
And then there's more direct interaction, potentially. Rock throwing seems common in reports.
Almost like a warning. Territorial.
Yeah, could be. Or even bluff charges running towards them but stopping short. Scary stuff.
Definitely designed to intimidate, if that's the case.
Think about how that would feel for the hikers. Just raw fear. Pure adrenaline dump.
Your whole reality shifts in that moment.
Yeah, total helplessness. What even do? Run, stay still, don't provoke it.
That internal conflict must be overwhelming. And some researchers talk about lasting psychological effects, like a kind of trauma from encountering something so impossible.
Right. So wrapping this up, we've covered those BFRO reports from Alexander County near Taylorsville, placed them in the context of the area's really rich folklore, and walked through what a hypothetical encounter might look and feel like there in the brushies.
And Elise, a question for you, the listener. You've got these documented reports, albeit anecdotal, sitting alongside this deep well of local legends about strange things in the region. How do you weigh that kind of evidence against the lack of hard scientific proof?
Yeah, what keeps these stories alive in a place like Alexander County with its specific history and landscape?
Definitely something to think about.